Hello, it is me, and today you're going to. Wait, give me a sec. I'm gonna try and. Real quick, I'm gonna try and do something. Actually, no, I'll do it tomorrow. I want to fix the way, you know how this is like cut off at the bottom and top. I'm gonna try and stop that. Make it whole again, so there's no black bars. They're really annoying. I'm sorry. Anyways, today you're gonna be watching me learn how to fucking Blender. Because Blender, the modeling 3D. I'm bored.
Where you'll spend probably 90% of your time.
So you're just gonna listen to this tutorial to make a donut because that was what I was recommended.
And it all happens right here. So by default, you can see you get three objects. You've got a cube, you've got what looks like a ball on a piece of string, that's a lamp, and then you've got a camera, this little, what do you call that, like a triangle arrow looking thing. It's a camera, okay? And then if you were to render this by going to render image, or hitting the hotkey F12, it would take a snapshot from that camera view, okay? And although this looks very similar to what we were just looking at, this one actually has lighting information, okay? You got shadow, you got some light coming off the top here, and if you had textures or materials and everything else.
How the fuck do I move the camera?
Okay, so if you've already used other.
How the fuck do I move the camera?
This is one of the basic principles of 3D rendering.
How the fuck do I move the camera? Wait.
What it is you're trying to create, and then when you're ready for that final image, you hit render, and then it uses your CPU
can I?
GPU.
This is so painful though.
And calculate the light and the
I don't want to use this corner thing.
Beautiful
so
image.
Uncomfortable.
So that's the basics.
Just I'll edit here.
Like, okay,
Fuck.
Right,
edit here.
Can we move this thing? How do we even do something basic like move it? There's two ways you could do it. One would be to use the move tool in your toolbar. If you activate that, you can see.
I've actually used a bit of Blender, so I know how to do the
arrows. And if you were to click and drag on any of those arrows, you would move it along that axis. If you clicked on the white circle,
so that's a light source, that's the camera, and that's the cube that everyone deletes.
Now, you could do it that way, but actually, I never do it that way.
What the
because
fuck?
it is far easier to just learn the hotkey, which in this case is G. G for grab. Okay, so if you just hit G, your cursor doesn't have to be
Oh.
and I'm not clicking. My hands are.
What the fuck did I?
It's just attached to your
shape
cursor
flat.
basically the moment you hit G. And then if you just do a single left click, it will confirm its movement. So G, click, and my cursor could be anywhere, right? And I can do it, which is actually good because you don't have to like think about where is my cursor. Do I have to like
Holy
get it on
shit.
and hit it? No, it's really.
Was
it just
R?
allows you to work
It is.
really
I
fast.
fucking knew it.
I know we're 2 minutes into the video.
4
minutes. All right.
Oh, I
Anyways,
like that one.
yeah,
You
one
press
thing you're
R
missing
twice,
with
you know,
this,
you got the
is those
you got the
axes, like, being able to
360
move it along specific
fucking
axes
cube.
is actually a really common action. You want to use it all the time, and you can do that after you have hit G by typing the letter of the axes. So there are three axes, and the axes letters are X, okay, which is the left and right, Y, which is back and forwards, and then Z, which is up and down.
What the
Some 3D
fuck?
softwares call the Y-axis the up and down, but Blenders it's the Z, the blue one.
The blue.
Alternatively, you can also, as you're moving it, if you hold down on your mouse, on your scroll wheel, if you push in, that's called the middle mouse button, push in until it clicks, and just hold that, and you can see you get this little
Oh,
line that draws
how
out,
do I undo?
and then you can just drag it to the nearest line, nearest axis, and it will automatically snap to that.
How the heck do I unpreview the?
Pretty cool.
How do I?
Okay, so that's moving things.
Wait, how do you access snap? Wait.
Snap the nearest line, and then you clicks, and just hold that, and you can see you get to push in. That's called the middle mouse button. Push in until it clicks, and just hold that, and you can see you get this little line that draws out, and then you can just drag it to the nearest line, nearest axis, and it will automatically snap to that, which is really handy. Pretty cool. Not too bad. Okay, so that's moving things. Now the other two actions that are really common is rotate and
We
scale. And you
he
can, again, you could use the tool just by clicking here, and then you can, you know, rotate it on a specific axis. You could click in the middle and like do a trackball thing. Scale.
I know all these
But
tools.
again, I recommend learning the hotkeys, which you can learn just by hovering.
Also,
over
I
it.
use this one because you know you
Yeah,
can
the hotkey for
rotate,
this one. So where it says shortcut,
scale,
shift spacebar, it's technically true.
rotate,
Activate it
and
this little
move
menu
like
here,
all in one
shift
fuck.
spacebar, but it's the one after that. Really easy to remember. R for rotate. Okay, so rotate, and then you can hit the letter of the axis as well, or do that same holding the middle mouse button. Oh, that's weird. Maybe because I did it after tapping it. Anyways, and then you've got scale, which is hovering over it. S for scale. Okay, S, X, Y, and Z. Like that. And if you want to cancel a movement, you can hit escape, or you can just right click as well. So cancel the movement. But yeah, so you can see you could do quite a lot just with those few little movements there. Okay,
Oh,
so
that's gonna be really helpful if I
stuff
just
about.
go way too much. Boom.
Now, let's talk about the next
I
thing.
fuck up, boom.
Like, how do I actually move my view? Like, how could I look and explore the rest of the scene? And that is also done with your middle mouse button. Okay, so if you click in on your scroll wheel until it clicks, you are orbiting. That is how you orbit. And my laptop people with trackpads, you are panicking right now because you've just realized you don't have a middle mouse button. You can do it in a pinch by going to the top right hand corner. There's a little gizmo, and if you just click and drag on that, you can see that you are able to
Edit, preferences, interface.
free rotate around. Alternatively, you can also go edit preferences, and then underneath input, if you click
It was fucking input.
emulate 3-button mouse, this will enable you to, holding down Alt, if you then hold down left click, it just does the same thing as the middle mouse button, which is pretty cool. It's not bad. Whilst you're here, by the way, you might also, depending on the size of your screen, you might want to change the resolution, because by default it's 1, which on my 4K monitor you can see that my buttons and the text is really small. And if you crank it all the way up, you can get to something comfortable. 0.4 or 5 is what I would normally go for. And by the way, I'm snapping it, like as you're dragging something, if you hold down control, it's using incremental numbers, so it keeps it to like a whole number. I'd normally go like 1.4 if I was using it myself, but it's a tutorial, so I'll keep it big so you guys can see what I'm getting at. Cool. And oh, another thing, just while I'm here, just mentioning, some of you are from other 3D software, 3ds Max, Maya, that kind of thing. You might find it helpful to know there's an industry compatible key map that you could enable, which I'll put them up on the screen here, but it's basically, it's more common keyboard shortcuts if you're used to other software. But for this tutorial series and everyone else, I recommend sticking to the Blender one, because of course, all the hotkeys and everything you'll learn whilst learning Blender will be for this hotkey thing. Anyways, all right, okay, so that is that's orbiting. Okay, now you can see as I orbit around, it's like locked on to my middle of my screen here. Okay, if I want to move somewhere else, that is pan, which is shift middle mouse button. Okay, now I'm shifting my view to somewhere else where I can.
Alright, I hate that.
That place and shift again. And if you're on a trackpad, you could also use this, move the view, this little hand icon thing at the top there. Do invest in this, please. You will need it for 3D. You really should get a mouse. It's
Oh
gonna be
my
tough.
good, I swear to fuck.
The other thing that I'm doing right now is I'm using the scroller to zoom in and out. You can also
Dude,
use
I
this
fucking
little
hate how you have to
there,
press down
or
on the
control,
fucking
hold down control,
scroller.
and then again click in on the middle mouse.
Dude, I hate the. Dude, I'm sorry. Blunt. Why? It just scrolls half the time. It's so uncomfortable for me to use. Ugh. Why?
Smooth movement.
This is
rather
why I
than
streamed it. This is why I streamed it, because you can
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Okay, cool. So let's say you've moved the cube all the way over there. Like, okay, so you could, if you wanted to go and inspect your cube, you could, you know, work your way over there by using Shift middle mouse button to pan over there. But it is far easier to just learn the hotkey number pad period, which will focus on any selected object. So if I want to go to my camera over there, I can select my camera, and number pad period will take me over to there. Again, my laptop users are going, oh no, I don't have a number pad. All right. The alternative way to do it is hold down the tilde key, which is that weird key underneath your escape key you've probably never used before. That brings up a pie menu with a bunch of view options, and view selected is
Fuck
focus.
off.
View selected.
What the heck is. No, let me. What the.
Okay, cool.
What the heck
So,
did I do? What? Why am I so slow? Why am I so slow? So far, Blender's been going great. I definitely don't want to.
And orbiting with middle mouse, shift middle mouse to pan, and then control middle mouse to zoom in and out or scroll. The other one you probably want to learn is align your view to axes, because it's something that you, like, new beginners often end up like upside down, and they're like, how did this happen?
Oh, if you middle
So
mouse
can
and
go
click,
to,
you can also do
rocket
that.
Bring yourself the right way up just by clicking one of these letters on
What if
your
you-
axes up here.
No,
Okay,
dang
so
it.
if you
Left
click
and
that,
right click.
I'm now the right way. Well, am I the right way up? Yes, I'm the right way up. I'm just focused on a weird part of the scene. That's why it's very weird. Alternatively, instead of these, so there's the three axes that you could snap yourself to. You could also learn the hotkeys, which is number pad 1 for front view, 1 for front view, 3 for side view, and 7 for top view. That's only.
Opening keybind! I don't even care. I'm not even gonna use them that much. Oh shit. That was the video.
Which is actually work your way over.
Alright, I'm gonna take a break. This is already hurting my brain.
shift middle mouse button to pan over there. But it is far easier to just learn the hotkey number pad period, which will focus on any selected object. So if I want to go to my camera over there, I can select my camera, and number pad period will take me over to there. Again, my laptop users are going, oh no, I don't have a number pad. But if I want to go to my camera over there, I can select my camera, and number pad period will take me over to there. Again, my laptop users are going, oh no, I don't have a number pad. Right. The alternative way to do it is hold down the tilde key, which is that weird key underneath your escape key you've probably never used before. That brings up a pie menu with a bunch of view options, and view selected is focus. View selected will take you there. Okay, cool. So we've learned orbiting with middle mouse, shift middle mouse to pan, and then control middle mouse to zoom in and out or scroll. The other one you probably want to learn is align your view to axes, because it's something that you, like, new beginners often end up like upside down, and they're like, how did this happen? So you can go to bring yourself the right way up just by clicking one of these letters on your axes up here. Okay, so if you click that, I'm now the right way. Well, am I the right way up? Yes, I'm the right way up. I'm just focused on a weird part of the scene. It's very weird. Alternatively, instead of these, so there's the 3 axes that you could snap yourself to. You could also learn the hotkeys, which is number pad 1 for front view, 1 for front view, 3 for side view, and 7 for top view. That's only number pad. It doesn't work for your keys along the top unless you wanted to enable that over here, emulate number pad, and then it would do that. But yeah, so that's handy as well. You might also find you'll notice, sorry, that in this view, this is orthographic mode. Okay, so we can't see the other sides of our cube right now. It's a weird looking cube, but we can't see the other sides because this is orthographic mode. It's like looking at it with like a focal length of like infinity, right? So there's no depth in our scene right now, which is actually really handy, and it defaults to it for this align to view thing immediately, because you usually want that. But the hotkey for that is number pad 5. And that will take you in and out of perspective mode. You can also do it up there, like that. You can see the difference. And another way that you could see align to view, because there's a couple of ways. You could also use that tilde key. That'll take you to the top.
I recently downloaded Watch It Upper DJX.
The viewport. You could change those. It's also got the hotkeys there if you happen to forget them. If you're familiar with ZBrush. I just cleared the location of that with Alt-G. You don't need to remember. Middle mouse button orbiting will also snap it to the nearest axes, which is also really handy as well. So if I'm like moving around, I'm like, I want to look up, snap it there. Which is really handy. So that's kind of the 3D viewport. We'll obviously get way more into this as we delve into the other lessons. But whilst we're here, these other sections over here. So on the right hand, and as you can imagine, the properties of things in the 3D viewport, or the scene. You could change render settings or things here. And look, there's a lot here. Like I would strongly recommend not trying to learn all the values, because you're not going to remember them anyway. We'll go through them as we go through this tutorial series. I think the best way to learn is to just do for something that you need to do. So that's what I try to teach. These options, some of these options will change depending on what is selected. So like if my camera is selected, you can see I get a camera icon, and then I could change some camera settings. If my cube is selected, I get some material settings, right? I could click material, I could change the color to red, and I could see a beautiful gray red color. It's a weird looking red. The reason it's not changing over here in the 3D viewport is because, again, this is a simplified view of the final render. So there's no material properties in this view. We'll get to viewport rendering later on, but for now, you would see it though if you were in rendered, again, F12 to do an actual render. Now, at the top here, we have got a outliner. So this is keeping a running inventory of everything that you've got in your 3D viewport at the moment. So we've got 3 objects and we've got 1 collection. So collection is just, it's like a folder basically. Simple way to think of it. So you can like organize things. You can rename things just by double clicking on it. Yeah, whatever, right? And so that'll automatically update as you add things to the scene. Like if I was to duplicate my object, which I could do by hitting Shift D to duplicate, you can see there's created another object right up there in the outline. So if I ever like lose something and I'm like, oh, where's that thing? I can just find it on here and then just, you know, bam. Oops, bam. Oh, by the way, I just accidentally tapped number pad 0, which is how you can look through the camera view. You could also do it by hitting the little camera icon on the right there, or by going viewport, camera, or by hitting the tilde key. So there are 4 places to get viewport options depending on what device or whatever it is that you're looking at. I deleted something by hitting X. You could also do it by hitting delete. By the way, I'm throwing a lot of keys at you, keyboard shortcuts. It's a lot to take in, especially when you're starting. So I created a keyboard shortcut PDF, and the link for that is in the description. It's just a list, it's like 3 or 4 pages of the most common hotkeys that you'll need to learn, or you might need to reference as you're using Blender. So you can basically load it up on another monitor whilst you're working, and you've got it there as reference if you need it. I used to make it like a bonus for signing up for my newsletter, but now I'll just make it free. So you don't have to subscribe. You can just click that link, view it, and hopefully that'll make it easier to use Blender. You can still subscribe to my newsletter. It's a weekly newsletter on tutorials, artworks, and things that I find in the 3D industry. So if you want to keep up to date and learn new things, you can subscribe to that in the description as well. But that's it for this one, because we have covered quite a lot of ground, so we'll keep it simple. And open up a brand new scene in Blender, and then join me in part 2, which is where we'll actually start making that donut now that you've got the basics. So we'll be learning about adding objects and modeling and all.
Alright, that concludes today's day frame of holy fuck, I don't know how to use this. Bye.